Normally, I do all my GEMP game reviews where I'm looking at other people's games and giving feedback and constructive criticism. Today, I am going to attempt to play a live match of my own. We've all seen Tom Kelly do a few of these. Well, many of us have seen Tom Kelly do a few of these from his Twitch channel, and I wanted to give it a shot myself. And since I'm always the one armchair quarterbacking some other people's game results, I thought it would be fair if once in a while I did a few games of my own, and obviously people can critique my misplays and errors. While we're waiting for a potential opponent to select my match, if you missed the end of my video, my weekly game series from Monday, then you might have missed this little gem that the Players Committee store just acquired, and that is currently listed on the forums in my used card thread for sale. The reason I'm selling it there, it's not very clear from the front, but if you look at it from the back, you can see these tiny little nicks in the top edge of the card in the top left hand, right hand corners. They're not really clear now that I've set it. If you look at it from the front, you can kind of see it a little bit better along the top. So the reason I'm selling it there is, of course, because this is typically, these go for about $325, $330, $40. Looking at the last couple that I've sold on eBay, and with that tiny little nick there, I would certainly have to not consider that to be in near mint condition for a card of this value. I think people are going to obviously want that. It's currently listed for $300 right now in that used card thread. However, if you're watching this right now, whether you're watching on my YouTube or the Twitch live stream, if you go to or PM me through the forums and want to buy it and mention that you saw it on my Twitch stream here and subscribe to my channel, I'll go down to $275. Shh. So, hopefully we'll get a match here soon. We've got a game up posted. There's a couple people, looks like everybody seems to want to play Dark. I am going to try to be playing Black Sun, which is something we haven't seen too much since the errata was done to it, and it kind of had to restructure the deck. Everyone just went, just threw the deck away and went back to playing all kinds of other stuff. And it's like, you could just change like 4 or 5 cards and kind of retool the beginning parts of the deck and, see just how much it got affected by it, by the errata. And I'm going to be the guinea pig who live streams and tests it out for everybody to learn from and watch. Hopefully, if we can actually get someone to accept the game request. Usually it doesn't take too long. You put a game up in the lobby, and especially when it's just an open kind of game, not like a league or anything like that, it usually doesn't take too long to find somebody, especially when there's 15, 18 people sitting there in chat. Looks like there are a number of people who apparently trying to get some different games going. Stubbly is also trying to get a dark side game going. I wish he would just flip over and pick a light side deck and play against me, but that would be too easy. So hopefully we'll get a game going here. And I do want to jump over to my channel, so if anybody is watching, I can actually chat with people. Or to make sure that, whoever I happen might be possibly playing against is also not watching. Because that'd be awkward. That'd be disappointing, obviously, if, I'm live streaming a game here and you're watching my chat and playing against me. Obviously, then you get to look at my hand and kind of see everything that's coming up, and that'd be disappointing, obviously, to see someone taking a step like that. If that's how you want to win games that mean nothing in an online casual play environment, well, then I hope you feel good about that. But so, like I said, just hoping to get something going here in a minute or two. But for those of you who are watching, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Click the little heart and follow me on Twitch. You don't even have to subscribe to me on Twitch because I just getting started over there with live streaming, so I don't necessarily, need people to start paying money to watch me do what I do over there. But just sort of following, try and build up a little bit of a following network, and then that way, when I do go live and am playing games live, you'll get some updates about what I'm doing. Yeah, and I can't type apparently and read at the same time. Now, obviously, the errata to Shadows of the Empire did change the Black Sun deck quite a bit, and you look around and we don't really see people playing against it. Oh, good. Steve Brenson wants to play. Yay. And he picked Profit. This should be really interesting then. I don't think I have anything to deal with Profit. Oh, I got Probot. Do I want to start 2 aliens there? Ooh, that could be disastrous or awesome at the same time. I think I'm going to start Django and Cad Bane. Oh god, I only have according to my design in this deck, then I don't want to start any aliens. Because I'm pretty sure I can only start the Emperor at my site. Yeah, this is oops, that's a deck building error. Whoops. Well, he does only get 5 force. Alright, so we're starting Shadows. We're starting Wipe, which will certainly help. And we're starting Decree. And since I was using according to my design, I included 1 copy of Emperor Foreseer in my deck. I just have to hope that let's go into the lobby. Start TV. Make sure we've got everybody watching. Let's go full screen. All right, let's see how this plays out. All right, so we got the Emperor on the table. We got a Sense in our hand. That's a good start. Don't really have any defensive interrupts, which is bad. I do have Wipe them out, so I can certainly bluff one. And I can pull the Imperial Detention, so there's no free Luke. He's starting Side Torso, who's got matching weapons, the Farm Puller, seeking an audience. So it's probably Master Luke, which is bad for me. We do have to pull some shields here. I need him to at least have to pay for Luke. That should potentially limit what he can do. Close call actually could come in handy as well. And then I'm going to need a grabber. Yep. Grabber. And I can activate one, which is cool. Definitely a risky move starting 2 aliens. I wasn't really thinking all the way through that I was going to let him go first. Yeah, I didn't realize I only had according to my design in this deck. But we'll see how it happens. We'll see how it goes. I know I wanted according for the throne room matchup, but I guess I forgot prepared defenses as well. Don't do that, kids. That's bad. Oh, wait a second. That's right. I can get that card too. You can use Fanfare. I may have just screwed this up. I guess we'll find out. Because I can go get the bounty. Because these guys are Black Sun agents, and then he can't battle me and beat me up. So maybe I didn't screw that up. I screwed up activating it. That was a mistake. Don't do that. Alright, so use 1 force, which I get the 1 force from wipe, so we're still in pretty good shape with all that. So none of this stuff has changed. The only thing that changed is Shadows of the Empire, which changes how I get my locations turn 1 and how I move around turn 1. But for the most part, the rest of the deck seems to be about the same, so I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. And of course, thanks for everybody for watching along. So he gets to farm. No surprise there. We'll see what type of other activation he's got, whether he's got Whises or Speaks for his locations. I do have a sense. There's a Speak. Do I want to sense the Speak and really slow down his activation? I feel like the answer to that question is yes. I feel like the answer to that question is yes, but Decree's not going to help me. Because I don't occupy any battlegrounds, because this isn't a battleground while Han's frozen. Maybe it's not a battleground while Boshoot is there. It's not a battleground. So it is a battleground, so I'm only losing 1. Yeah, we're gonna sense that, try and slow his activation down. Hey, we got it. Look at that. I can reduce it by 1. And I have to lose a card. Let's lose an Emperor. We got ways to get Emperors back. We've got multiples of him. Why is my... Oh, my timer at 2 seconds. Looks like my settings got changed maybe when they switched server names. Yeah, he went and pulled a gift. And he doesn't R2 though. A gift is terrible for this deck. Obviously, there are ways of dealing with it with like Probot and stuff for Force Lightning. Looks like he drew just about all of his cards. Okay, so reactivate, I get 8 force now. That's awesome. Can't search for anything though. That's why there should probably be the other Emperor so I could look for a Force Lightning. It's like I don't want to spend force to go get the square and then have it not be there, but I also don't want to spend force and miss my Vigo. Because I've got that Vigo, but I don't have the other Vigo. Alright, guess we have to use this. Spend the 2, try to deploy the square. And miss, which sucks. But that site is in there. The other 2 are also not in there. And neither is the Vigo. So everything I want is in my force pile. He drew all his force. He did get Boss Nash Chamber out. Yeah, those guys are definitely in a bit of trouble. Alright, so how much force would I need to save? 2 for Greedo. Let's peek at some cards. See what we can get. Card to put in used pile. Force Lightning's going to go used. Chango's going to go lost. We'll get P59 into hand. Let's draw that top card of my force pile and see what we get. Ooh, Ellis. We got Ellis. That's interesting. There's a lot of cards in my deck, though, that could be 6 or higher. So if I really got into trouble, I could just Ellis away, give them the audience chamber. There's my virtual Vigo. There's one of my sites. What do we want to leave? 1 to grab, 2 to react with Greedo, and 1 for the bounty. Yeah, let's leave those. I can activate 1 more. This is rough. I haven't played much Black Sun. I usually end up playing against it, but trying to figure out exactly what I should be doing with it. I'll admit, it's definitely a bit challenging. So he's got 9 force, and I completely whiffed on all of my activation. Which is not supposed to happen. Alright, so this is like worst case scenario. Yeah, 3PO's cool. Can't do anything about him. Yep. Just gonna try and find Probot as quickly as we can. Force here will help with that, at least. That will be the one advantage to having that guy handy. Yep, 3PO undercover with a gift. No surprise there. Alright, so we're going to activate 8. I have to get 3 battlegrounds. He's got a lot of force saved. Presumably to be a beatdown squad. There's one of my sites. That Vigo goes there. Non-war room battleground planet site or system not already on table. Let's see if it's still there. Did the game just break? No. Okay, good. So that site is there. The other ones still are not. Destiny is relatively decent. There's 2 Emperors in there, so there's 2 6s that I could draw and a couple of 5s. I think I'm just lagging a little bit. Need to spend a little bit of this force. So we're going to add him for some backup, so cheap Leia can't also just come down and quick flip. And we're going to move. Now I've got 3 battlegrounds. I will flip my objective. Awesome. Let's draw that top card. Causing 1 force loss. And then we'll just consolidate and slide the Vigo over. Once we figure out what Steve loses. Top deck's a good blaster at your side, so there goes a potential source of ping damage from him. He moves over there for free. And now I could look and see what's in there, but there really isn't anything I want to put back right now. That's a good one to get. Alright. Now I can put a card back. I can put the site back because I can pull the site. So my other site's at the bottom. These other cards are Presence, Zuckuss, who I shouldn't need another sense. So I don't really need any of these cards. I mean, Presence would be great to turn like Boss Nash Chamber into a battleground or something, or the Jedi Council Chamber if he ever gets it out. But I might regret putting P59 down. I could have Ellised for free to the palace if it hit the fan. Alright, there's the Jedi Council chamber, so we found it the hard way. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi non-V. He's cool. Because he's spending force means he's trying to get more cards in his used pile so he can deploy other guys. I would assume he's going to have rebel leaderships and probably some type of General Leia and her gun. And Leia's the one I definitely do not want battling. There's Master Luke. No, I kind of have to let that go. I could close call the Destiny to bounce one of these guys back to my hand if necessary. Luke's going to go get a matching weapon with Saitor. But I have a feeling that there's going to be more coming than just Luke. I could be wrong. And this could blow up my face. That's the fun of playing the game, right? Obviously, we know Steve's going for a beatdown. That's kind of what Prophet does. And I wish I hadn't put P59 down because I could have Ellised for free if I didn't think about that. That's, see? It's definitely my unfamiliar nature with using the deck. I doubt I can shoot Luke. I do have a couple of there were 2 6s in there. I guess I got a 2 out of 27 chance of hitting him. There's that Leia. That Leia doesn't bother me because I've got P59. And if he gets rid of P59, the battle just ends. He's not, though. He's going to bounce Django, and he's going to try and hit Cad Bane. I want somebody better. I want Lando, in this case, Lando with axe or Chewie with gun. Because right now this isn't looking too bad. I can shoot Leia. There's a lot of 4s and 5s and stuff. I could probably have a pretty good shot at hitting her. I'll have to take a weapons phase action at some point and probably pull Coward. Let me just make sure which Han this is. Yeah, okay, it's that one who's immune to secret plans. Some people like to get sneaky. There he is. Yeah, no. No Lando with axe. Choose one opponent's character if ability equal 1 present to move away, or that character is lost. So if I deploy Greedo, he'd have to spend a force with Obi to make me move away. But that would be his last force, because he's got to pay 1 to battle. I guess I do it anyway. I can always Ellis him later if necessary. Leia gets Anakin's lightsaber. Okay, now we definitely have to use Greedo. And I just have to hope he misses the bounce with Luke. Yeah, that'll make me lose two. That's no biggie. That's the presence of the force that I spent for my force pile on top. Because I paid one to bounty. I will reduce that to 1 and lose the presence of the force. And then I will react with Greedo. Now I'll have to use Obi first. To make Greedo move away. Only place he can move is out there. Or I could force drain next turn. Trying to bounce Django. I guess I have to make him redraw it. And hope he misses this time. Boo. He still hit me. That helps. So we hit Leia, and he loses 2 force. Still in deep trouble here. Probably not going to end up winning this game, but oh, there goes a landing claw, and then the leadership. Yep. Why couldn't he have drawn that for the Django Destiny? Yeah, he's going to hit both my guys. They'll both be forfeit 0. I'm down 6 power. Plus a Battle Destiny. The bottom card is my sight. The bottom card is my sight. No, I don't want to do that yet. Alright. Oh, I wanted to pull my coward shield. Shoot. Luckily, he's going to have another swing at P59, so. Because I don't want him just freeing Han and retrieving all these cards. I want him to actually have to, like, move to a second location. Yep. Yep. I'll pull coward. It's like 7 shields you want against this deck, so. that's it. I think we're down to just drawing Battle Destiny here, and my guy's all dying. Come on, 6. Yeah, that did not go really well at all. All right, so tiny little mistakes there, of course. P59 was a mistake. Obviously, you could have put Leia down and blanked, and then just freed Han, and then I don't have to worry about getting battled or beat down. So that changes that dynamic, and then also not being able to play the Ellis to move for free to this site, because that's any movement. Obviously, was my other backup out, and that hurt as well. So 2 big mental errors there. Hey, there's the Gick. It was on top of my reserve deck. All right. Well, he's out of force. That's the good news. And he will pull battle plan. Used pile. Lost pile. Yeah, not being able to get rid of Probot's going to end up being the death of me. Or not being able to find Probot to get rid of 3PO is going to end up being the death of me. I could move Greedo back. And then he can't use any of his weapons because he won't have any force. That's not the most terrible idea I've ever had. It's a bad idea, that's for sure. But we're already losing the game, so I might as well go down swinging, right? I got 12 force. I could drop Jango Boba, and then Luke could bounce one of them right back to my hand. Either way, I'd still get multiple battle destinies, though. So sure, why not? Greedo. You make a regular move. Let's redeploy Jango. Let's drop Boba. And let's battle. Let's see who Luke bounces. Well, Luke bounced Greedo, then he could swing with all his weapons. But I'm pretty sure we're going to, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this game, so we're going to try and at least make it a little interesting before we go. A couple of deck building errors, a couple of misplays. That's what happens when you play a deck you're not familiar with. You make mistakes. This is why you have to practice, practice, practice. And he's thinking right now. Actually, we've got him thinking. Yeah, he's going to bounce Greedo, so he can try and swing and exclude with the Vibro Axe. And yep. Luke swings at Django, then Lando tries to exclude Django. So then Django goes lost. Ooh, and a Jedi Live. Do I just sense the Jedi Live to make sure he misses? That doesn't seem like a very good idea. He had to hit him anyway. Look at all these droids he's got. He's got plenty of targets for a gift and other bad matchups. BB-8 for map. R3PO for ISB or just space decks that run undercover spies. Good stuff. That is the beauty of Profit. All those use pile pulls. Usually you can loop one character into the next character and just kind of chain them into each other. So now Django's excluded and immediately lost. Yeah, look at that. He's got 4 more characters in his hand as well. So yeah, so we lose. Thanks, Steve, for playing a good game, and definitely have some deck building errors I do need to fix. What did we learn about this from Black Sun? Obviously, a gift still screws the deck. It's kind of been the big downside to it for a while. But the deck does get a much slower start, especially when you whiff on your activation, which is certainly possible because you're using 2 force to deploy the square, and then you've got to, do the once per game to get the virtual Vigo, and then he's got to spend 2 force to go get the other site to then pull everything else. It's not as guaranteed, and you do have the options of, missing, which can certainly screw things up. So Black Sun did take a hit, obviously. There are plenty of other good dark side options here. I mean, we've seen people playing Bring Him Before Me, Senate, Hunt Down. Obviously, Trooper Entanglements is still probably top of the curve right now just because of the speed involved. The guys in the OCS finals were using Watto and Combat, so Invasion is still good. TTO is still playable. They're, Dark Deal and Map. So there's plenty of other options out there that are probably a little bit more stable. Heck, even Court Scum is probably even a little bit more stable than Black Sun. But if Black Sun is your deck of choice, I'm sure there's a way to still play it right and, you know, sure up some of these little inefficiencies so that it's not so bad. So that concludes this little experiment. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and tweak some stuff around. Thank you guys very much for watching, and hope to see you again soon.